Hello, my name is Rovell Gaither and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today on my channel, I'm going to be showing the process of me making these dope, amazing, never done before tote bags. So I actually designed these bags way last year. It was a while ago. I don't know if it was exactly a year, but it was pretty much about a year ago. And I held on to the design because I was like, these bags would be perfect for the summer, you know, going to the beach, you know, spring. These bags just give me spring, just warm weather vibes. So I held off on the design, and another reason why I held off too was because when I was in the process of designing it, I just couldn't get the shape that I wanted correct. I made a pattern, I tested it out, I didn't like the shape of it, so I held on to it. So today I'm going to be showing the process of me making, this is one of the tote bags. So it is a tote bag made out of denim because that's really what I make my stuff out of, denim, but it looks like overalls. Like, it's a shoulder roll bag. Like this is literally a shoulder roll bag. So I'm not gonna talk too much about them, but this is the first one that I did, and then this is the second bag that I did. Love this one, this one. Both of these first ones are simple colors, you know, just nice simple one-tone colored denim bags. And then this is the last one that I did. This one is a two-tone. I'm not gonna talk too much right now. I'll talk more and explain more in the outro, but I did mess up on a light blue one and I did end up redoing it. So this actually is not the first time that I made this bag. This was the second bag that I made. I'll grab the first one and show you that one. Actually, should I show that in the outro? Should I show that in the intro? I'll show it in the intro just because. So this was the first one that I made. It's really not that much of a difference from that one. As you can see though, the handles are a little different because I changed it up on this bag. So I'll go ahead and talk about why I did that in the outro, why I changed it up, because I don't want to talk. I don't know, I feel like in the intros I shouldn't really go into detail or explain pretty much what happened or what's going on. So if you do want to stick around and watch me make these bags, you can stick around and watch. And I'll throw up some sketches on the screen. I sketched them up. Production for these bags really probably took me about 5-6 days to make each one. It would have been shorter if I didn't have to remake the light blue one, but again, I'm not gonna talk too much about it. Also, one more disclaimer before we really get into the video. I am currently going through a rebrand. I am brand. Anyways, so yeah, like I was saying, I'm currently going under a rebrand, and the reason why is because I'm changing my website name, I'm changing my social media names, and I'm changing everything. One, due to legal reasons, it's just easier to have my name be Rovell Gaither than have, because I was talking to a fashion mentor. Well, before I talked to the fashion mentor, I also talked to a fashion lawyer, and she recommended this a while ago, that you know, for trademarking reasons, I should just have, not only for trademarking but also for the consumer, it's easier if you just have everything be one name. It's a little difficult to be found on social media, you know, when your website's one name, your social media is a different name, and you're putting a different name on your actual pieces. The consumer can get confused. Ooh, my mouth is talking faster than my thoughts can come into my head. So I'm going under a rebrand. I'm changing everything to Rovell Gaither. It's a little bit of a hassle, but it's better for me to do it now than to go ahead and do it later. So now my website is rovellgaither.com instead of rovellsgico.com. So in any of my previous videos, if you do watch back, I'm saying Rovellsgico, but it's now Rovell's, I was about to say Rovellsgico. It is now rovellgaither.com. Just wanted to get that out of the way. So, if you want to see me make these bags, which are freaking dope, honestly, I love and these bags have never been done before. So if you see another brand doing this before, just know that they came to Rovell Gaither to get some of that inspiration for these little bags, because nobody else has done it. Actually, I did some research before I made these bags, and the brand, how do you pronounce them? Moschino, Mop the Floor with a Mopino. I don't know how you say their name. How do you say it? Moschino? It's something along those lines. They did an overall denim bag, but they didn't do it like mine's. Mine's is it's a totally different bag. The way that I've done it, no one has done it before, so I'm really excited about that. So if you do want to stick around and watch me make these bags, just keep watching, and let's get into the video. All right, so the first bag that I'm gonna start on is I'm gonna start on the light blue one. And the reason why is just because I want to do the light blue, is excited. And I'm gonna go in the order that I designed them. So I started with the light blue. That's normally how I work when I'm doing multiple colors of one design. I go in the order that I designed them. So I have all the pieces cut out. This isn't even all of them. I just didn't want to have them all on the table at one time. So it's like a gazillion pieces. So first thing I'm gonna do is actually assemble that front overall panel, if I can even find the pieces to it, because it's just so many pieces on my table. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and assemble the front overall panel pieces, And I broke them up down the center because overalls normally have a center seam. It's normally, I think they're called flat felt seams, but I'm not gonna exactly do that technique. I'm just going to pretty much piece it together and then have it that way, and it'll still give it the look that I'm going for. Because I don't really want a flat felt seam. I don't know, I just don't think that I would want that on this. So that's the first thing I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna start assembling. I already have all of my bobbins loaded up. I'm using a dark blue thread for this one, for the light blue denim, and I'm doing a red lining. Let me see if I could grab, it's all the way over there. Okay, so I'm gonna do a nice red lining. I thought that would be dope. I was gonna do a navy blue lining, but I was like, nah, I already did that color combo, kind of tired of it. So I'm gonna do red on the inside of this one, and it'll look so nice with this blue. So yeah, I spent all day yesterday, not all day yesterday, but all day today and pretty much all yesterday cutting out all the pieces and interfacing it. So I'm gonna go ahead and start assembling this, and that's what y'all gonna see. So I just want to make this quick disclaimer that I have no script that I'm going off of for this voiceover, but this bag is actually the bag that I messed up on, but I am still showing me making this bag just because it was part of the video. I filmed the footage, so I was like, why not throw it in the video? But the first thing that I'm doing is I'm actually attaching the front panel, because the way that I made my pattern was I broke this overall panel up into pieces, because that's just really how overalls look. They have like, it's called a flat felt seam, but I didn't want to do that, so I just broke it up and stitched it together, and it kind of gave it that same look that I was going for. And here I'm sewing on the waistband. You know how overalls, they have like a little waistband piece, so I decided to add that into the design with the belt loops. And then this is the front pocket, and honestly, this bag, I really love this design. Okay, if they were kind of difficult to do, but it's simple. It's a simple, difficult piece. You know how some pieces, they be difficult, but they be simple at the same time? This is one of those. So I'm attaching the front pocket, and I think I had to redo this a few times, and I didn't end up showing it in the footage. Actually, no, I did, because I didn't top stitch the top of it at first, and I forgot. I forgot to do it, so I had to take it off, seam rip it off, and redo it. But then I'm attaching the little belt loops, and the belt loops are actually functionable, so it would be dope if you, like, I don't know, to put like a belt through them or something like fashionable. Just, I don't know. Honestly, I didn't have to make them functionable, but I was like, why not? And as you can see, I'm just talking. All right, so it is now day 2 of working on this. I really didn't check in much because sometimes I get in the mood where I'm just sewing and I don't check in, or I don't want to because I'm just so in focus with what I'm doing. But I finished up the front piece, so I attached my name, I attached the front pocket, so it is an actual pocket. I did the 2 rivets. I attached the bottom belt, the bottom waistband piece, and it is like actually functional, so you can put like a belt or something in there. I don't know if someone would do that. And then I did the back as well, same thing. And I went ahead and I actually just added in the purse feet to the bottom of this. I was only gonna do 4, but I decided to do 5 because I didn't want the center to sag in on the ground and scrape or anything, because I want to protect the bottom of the bag and keep it safe. So I added the 5 purse feet, and that should protect the bottom of the bag. And now what I'm gonna have to do is I made little facing pieces for the actual sides of this to get a clean edge. So pretty much it would clean up this raw edge. So I made facings for both sides, for the front and the back, to clean off this edge because I don't want it to have that raw look. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and then I'm going to actually place this on this piece. So it's going to be 2 separate pieces. So this is the overall piece, and then this is the actual back piece, and then I would stitch it on. So they are 2 separate pieces, but honestly, I'm really excited. It's turning out really good. I was nervous the whole time, especially with this front pocket and just a lot of the things, because it's like I tested the pattern out and I made a test piece and it came out nice, but sometimes when you start working with actual fabrics, it's kind of like, ooh, I don't know how this is gonna work, but it's coming out nice. So I'm gonna go ahead and start on attaching this facing piece to this edge along this end, and on this end, and on the other back piece as well. And I'm gonna go ahead and sew that onto here, and yeah, I'll check back in after I do all of that. All right, so I attached the overall panel, front panel piece to the actual bag. the base of the bag. I guess I'll call it the base. This is the overall overlay, and then this is the base. So I did the front, you know, the front is all in there. I love it actually. And the reason why, okay, so I designed this bag last year, a long time ago, right? I designed it last year and I kept holding on to it because one, I thought it would be a good bag for spring or summer. And two, I just couldn't get the shape right. I thought the shape was just weird with what I wanted to go with at first, and I just couldn't get it right. I just couldn't decide on it. And I finally decided to go with like a nice little curvature on the sides to give it that overall type look. I don't know. That was a little bit of an explanation, no one cares, but anyways, I did the front, and then this is the back piece. So both of these are done. So now I'm gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna attach the bottom panel to the front and the back of it. And then I'm gonna probably start on the side panels. I'm debating if I wanna do little magnetic snap buttons on the side to close them. I kinda want, you know what, I'm gonna do it. So I don't know how to explain it without showing you, so I'll go ahead and sew this bottom panel on, and then I'm gonna work on the side panels and pretty much explain what I'm doing. All right, so I just put the bottom panel on with the purse feet and all that. Love this. Honestly, I love every single time I do purse feet because it just makes the most satisfying noise. So I went ahead with the side panels like I was talking about and added the magnetic snaps. And the reason why I did that is because it'll give the bag a nice shape. So I don't know if you'll be able to see it. But when you're able to like kind of close a bag up on the sides like this, it gives it a nice little shape. I don't know how to explain it. It just gives it a really nice shape that I actually really do like. So I wanted to do this, so I did that. And right now, all I'm gonna do is attach both of the side panels to the bag and sew them together and pretty much just put the whole exterior together. And then I'll probably start on the straps after that too, because I haven't even done that yet. So I'm gonna go ahead and attach the side panels and do the straps, and that's what you're gonna see. So now I'm attaching both of the side panels to the bag to actually bring the bag together and form it and make it look like a bag. And I actually, on each seam from the side panel, I used a double stitch. Well, I don't know if they're called a double stitch, but I stitched over the first stitch. So let's say I did the base stitch and then I went over again and stitched over it. I call it a double stitch. And I learned that trick from this lady on YouTube. Her name is, she goes by the username Sia Swag. She does bags as well. And she said when you double stitch your seams, especially if you're using like a contrast color thread, because sometimes when you just do like one stitch and you turn the bag right side out, you'll be able to see like that pop of color through your seams. So she said if you do like a double stitch, it kind of helps. Oops, I hope you didn't hear that. It kind of helps so you don't see like the thread so much in the seams. So I did that, and it also just helps secure the bag and makes it a lot stronger. So I went with that because I didn't know what anyone would be putting in the bag. Ooh, I really cannot do voiceovers. So I got a few things done. So what I went ahead and did is I finished up the handles and I attached the little overall buckle piece that's gonna be on there because I wanted to have that overall look. And the handles are rolled and they are a little bit longer, and I made them longer for if someone did want to wear it on the shoulder. That's really the reason why it's that long. I really honestly probably could have made them a little shorter, but it's fine. It's really not that big of a deal. And then I also went ahead and did the closure piece that's going to be on the lining. So this is what's going to be on the inside of the bag so you can close it. So these two pieces are going to meet. There's some magnetic snaps, so it's going to meet close. And then this is actually the exterior, which is all done. I haven't pressed it or anything, so it still has some wrinkles in it. But you see, this is the look that I was talking about. I don't know if you can see it. That little magnetic snap closure gives it. I love that look, especially with this the shape of the bag, the overalls. Like, it just looks so dope. Like, I'm loving it. I love the purse feet. I was also debating if I even wanted to do purse feet on these, but I'm glad that I decided to go ahead and do them because not only does it look nice, it's just gonna protect the bottom of the bag and just make it, it's gonna last longer and just be more better. So now what I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm actually gonna start assembling the lining together because I have to sew this, because I broke the lining pattern up into pieces when I made it so that I can have this piece to match And then the red lining piece is going to be the bottom half. So I have to actually sew this to the red lining piece, and I have to do the same thing for the side panels on the lining. Sounds confusing, and I don't understand what you probably don't understand, but I'm going to go ahead also and add the little button pieces that have to go here for the actual straps to like hook into, if you know what I'm talking about. So I'm going to go ahead and do all of that, and yeah, that's what you're going to see. So now I'm starting on the interior lining, and this lining was actually one of the reasons why I also didn't like this bag. So when I first started designing this bag, I thought it would look nice with the red lining. I thought it would look nice with the light blue, and it does. I just don't think I like it with the blue, with the dark blue stitching as well. And after I stitched it together, even I think I said in this video I liked it, but I ended up not liking it once it all came together. And another reason why I also did not like this one is because on the side panels, when I made my pattern, I patterned it out to have a 1-inch denim piece at the top just to be cohesive with the inside, and I ended up making the measurements wrong somehow, and it was off. So when I went to go top stitch it, they didn't line up all the way, so the top stitching was off, and it just made the panels look really crooked, and they didn't line up right, and it was just really off-putting, and I didn't like the way that it looked. But on the other ones I didn't do that, so they looked a lot better. But that was one of the reasons what I didn't like about this bag. Alright, so I have the lining all sewn together, and that's what you guys were just watching, and I have it all clipped around. I actually stuffed the exterior inside, and I'm gonna have to go ahead and flip it out through this hole that I left at the bottom, and then I would pretty much pull this hole through this zipper pocket hole and close it off, which I'm so glad I just paid attention to that, because I actually have to unzip the zipper. Actually, it wouldn't matter, I could have unzipped it from the other way, but I would close the bottom lining through this hole right here, which sounds confusing, but it's not that difficult. So now all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and sew all along the top of this, and I'm gonna go in with a double stitch too, just to give it a nice secure stitch. Actually, I really don't have to, because I'm gonna top stitch it. I don't know, I'll think about it. But the only thing I'm worried about is, like I said, on which side is it? This side. One of them are higher right here, so I'm a little worried about getting too close and sewing through it, or it's gonna look odd and uneven and off when I go to flip it out. And like I said, if it is, I'm just gonna have to keep this bag for myself, because I would not be mad about that, because I actually love this bag, but I would have to make another one. So hopefully it's not too bad, so that I can actually sell it. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and sew this and attach it, and then really I'm done. After that point, all I have to do is close up the lining, top stitch this, and I'm done with this bag, and give it a nice press. But yeah, so let's start sewing this lining to the actual exterior. So now this is the part that I actually had quite a bit of a struggle with, and it doesn't look like in this video because it's so sped up, but I was really having a difficult time sewing this. As you can see, I had to take it out and seam rip it right here, and it was just kind of hard because it was awkward. Like it's just really awkward, and it gets stiff, you know, once you have the lining and you have the interfacing and you have all the pieces together. It's just really stiff, and it's hard to maneuver and sew, and the pieces just kept sliding and moving from under each other, and some of the seam allowance was kind of off, so I went back and redid it, and I had to go over some pieces sometimes because I didn't catch it all. It was just really, it was a difficult one putting this one together, but it came out really nice. And top stitching it, I actually had to redo it a few times because my tension was off, so I had to take the stitching out. I don't think I showed it in this video, I'm pretty sure I didn't, but this is probably like my third time actually top stitching this. I had to take the stitches out, redo it, set my tension, fix it, all that, but it ended up coming out really nice, so I can't complain. It just took me, what, 3 tries to get it right. I was so irritated. I was like, child, I'm not gonna keep doing this. But here I am closing up the lining, which I pulled the hole that I left to turn the bag right side out through that zipper pocket, close it up, and then close up the zipper pocket. That's what I'm doing here. Why I talk like that? Alright, so I have fully completed the first overall bag, and I really do like it. It does have some minor flaws, so I am going to be making a second one, and I'm going to keep this one for myself, and I'm just going to have to remake another one with changes. So the first change that I'm going to do for the next one is I'm actually not going to do the let me fix my microphone. So the first change that I'm going to do is I'm actually not going to do the straps like this, and the reason why is because they flip around a lot. So they like to, like, if you let the flaps go, they'll flip around, and then when you go to lift them back up, they'll be all twisted up and turned the wrong way, and they twist really easily, and they're kind of difficult, not difficult, but they're confusing to untwist. So that's one reason why. And the change that I'm gonna do actually is I am going to actually have these be lower. So this is gonna be lower, and I'm gonna actually have it lower on the bag. And then I'm going to rivet the actual strap to the bag. So the strap will be connected to the bag and it won't move. So it would pretty much be secured on the bag and it won't move at all, which would be good. And you know, kind of, I'm not mad about it, but I did have this design concept in mind because it's the most similar to overalls. But as long as I can still keep this little buckle feature in the bag, I'm not gonna be mad about that at all. And the other change, oh, I don't know if I said this or not, but I accidentally punched the holes too big for these. So I punched the hole too big, so I had to actually add a piece of interfacing of Decaville Heavy to cover up that hole, and then I had to punch a smaller hole. But the only thing is, I think on this side it's coming a little loose, so that's another reason why I won't be selling this one, and I'll be keeping it. And I think there was another one. Oh yeah, on the inside I won't top stitch this, and the reason why is because it makes it look off and the stitching looks off, because on this piece it's off by like 1/8 of an inch. So when I top stitching, it goes down in the area that it's off and it makes it look like the stitching is crooked. So when I do the next bag, I will not be top stitching the outer perimeter or the top perimeter of the bag on the inside, just so that when I do go to actually top stitch the outside of the bag, it doesn't have that weird look and make it look crooked. And honestly, this top stitch is not really necessary for the inside of the bag. I actually think it will look cleaner without it. So that's what I'm gonna be doing on the next one. Other than that, everything is really perfectly fine. I love the side closures. It was honestly, this was a perfect thing to add, especially for the shape of the bag. Like, it's perfect because it curved. Honestly, I love that feature. I have no problems with that. Everything worked out fine. The pattern worked well. I just have that issue really with the straps and the top stitching. So the other bags, I'm gonna do that way. I'm gonna have the straps actually connected lower, and I think that'll be a good idea because the straps won't be so long. It'll probably be like 1 inch shorter, so that'll be more better because these straps are kind of long on this bag. So now I'm gonna go ahead and actually, now that this is done, I'm going to start on the second one, and then once I finish up all the other ones in this collection, I'll cut out more pieces for this one and remake this one in the newer way. So I'm gonna go ahead and start on the second one, which is gonna be that medium blue. That one's gonna have the yellow stitching and all of that. So I'll pull all the pieces out, show you that and all of that. All right, so this is all the pieces for the second bag. This is the medium blue bag, and I'm using a yellow thread with this bag. So this one's gonna be like pretty much the standard color thread that I use, and I'm gonna use antique brass hardware, which is like that aged gold look hardware. I think that'll look really nice on this shade of denim. And then I'm gonna use a brown lining, and I think the brown will look nice with the aged antique brass hardware. So it's gonna be the same exact bag. Again, the only difference is I'm gonna have those straps a little bit lower and actually attached to the bag, so it'll be secure, it'll be lower, the strap won't be as strong, I mean not as strong, as long, and it won't move. I can't remember, that was really the only change. Oh, the top stitching too, I'm gonna be top stitching. So I'm gonna go ahead and just start. You saw me make the other one, so I'm just gonna sew and then check in as I go when I do this one. Sorry if my hands keep moving in a way, I'm standing up filming this. But yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and start. The first thing I have to do, like I did on the last one, is assemble the front overall panel piece and then the back panel piece, and just start from there because I have to do that first. So that's what you're gonna see. So now I'm starting on the second one, and I'm doing the same exact thing that I did for the first one. It's the same exact bag, just a different color. So I'm starting out by sewing the front overall overall overlay panel piece together, and then I'm top stitching it because, like I said, I want to give it that flat felled seam look. Even though it's not a flat felled seam, I just wanted it to have that kind of look that overalls have. And I really don't want to go over and explain the same thing because it's the same exact thing I did on the last one. But I just want to talk a little bit on why I'm actually doing a rebrand and changing my name again. And I talked a little bit of, ooh, why do every time I talk, it's like I got a burp. My body be doing me so dirty, y'all. So I'm rebranding because it's just smart for everything to be the same name. I talked to a fashion lawyer some time ago actually, and she told me this, but I ended up not doing it because I'm like, oh, that's so much. I gotta change my website. I gotta get a new domain. I spent $300 on these business cards that I had that already had Rovell's G code on it. I didn't want to think about it. It was just too much. New email, it was just too much. So I was talking to a mentor today, and we talked about it, and I finally really sat down and really thought about it, and it would just be smart for me to change everything to be Rovell Gaither, to be consistent all the way across the board. So I have to get used to saying RovellGaither.com. All right, so it is now the second day of working on this specific bag. So this is now what, day 5? Yeah, wow, that's, no, day 4. No, yeah, I don't know, it's one of those days. But I finished up the front and the back. Well, it's not finished, but I went ahead and I did the front pocket, the bottom waistband. My name tag is on here. I added the rivets to that front pocket, and I went ahead also and I added the little buckles, and I did that first because I didn't want to do it last. And I'm not gonna even attach the straps yet. I'm gonna wait till everything is done to do that, which is kind of risky, to be honest, to even try to do it that way. But the reason why I'm gonna do it that way is because the strap, I actually want to rivet it onto the actual bag. So I don't want to have it too far off. So I'm gonna wait until this is all sewn together so that I can know how far I need to have it on there. It makes sense in my head, but yeah, that's the reason why I'm gonna wait. And I did the back as well. The back is done. The back is just simple and plain. It's just the waistband and all of that, because it's not my name or pocket or anything on the back. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna grab it, is like I did on the last one, I'm gonna go ahead and add the facing to the corners of this, which, is this the right piece? Yeah, so essentially what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to add that facing to clean off this raw edge so it's not, you know, so frayish and all that. It's gonna be a nice clean raw edge. So I'm gonna do that on both the front and the back. And then after I do that, what else do I do? And I'm gonna attach it to the actual bag base, if that makes sense. So the actual base of the bag is what I'm gonna attach it to. So I'm gonna go ahead and start sewing that, and let's get into that. All right, so I got both of the overall overlay on the front and the back. So this is the back piece, this is the front. Honestly, I really love this medium color denim with this antique brass hardware. It looks so nice. Like, I don't know, this looks really clean. And then this is the bottom panel. I went ahead and added the purse feet. I did that off camera because I had to go hammer these downstairs in the garage. So I have that all there. So now I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna attach the bottom of the bag to the front and the back, and then I'm gonna go ahead and start working on the side panels and doing that, and then the outside would really be done, and then from there I'd have to work on the inside. So I'm really hoping this one turns out exactly how I need it to, for this one to be able to be sellable, because I really don't feel like dealing with another mess up one. But it's going well so far, so I think it's gonna go really good. So I'm gonna go ahead and actually start on the bottom panel. So let's go ahead and do that. So now I'm attaching the bottom panel, and I love doing bottom panels on bags, especially with purse feet. Purse feet, if you are a bag maker, or honestly, if you just really admire bags, 9 times out of 10, you love purse feet. Like, I don't know what it is about purse feet. They just take your bag to another level. And okay, I'm just talking, but I think it's so funny too on the internet. A lot of people really think that a lot of the times that I just know what I'm doing 100%, and I'm just so confident in what I'm doing. A lot of the times I have no idea what the heck I'm doing. I'm just like, okay, I want to make this. This is how I want it to look, and I make it, and it turns out how I want it to, and I'm like, okay, like, I didn't know I could do that. A lot of the times I don't be knowing what I'm doing. The whole time I make stuff, I'll be like, can I even do this? Can I even do this? This is gonna turn out right, and then they do. I'll be like, whoa, hold on. All right, so I have the whole exterior nice and complete. I didn't iron it yet, so it still has some wrinkles and little threads and things like that, but it looks really nice. This denim actually is a heavier ounce. This one is 14 ounces, I think, and the other denim I used may have been like 10 ounces. So this one has a heavier, like, you know, heavier, I don't know, has a thicker, better quality feel to it. because of the ounces of this denim. But one thing that I did have to do is I had to use gold magnetic snaps for this because I didn't have antique brass ones. And the only reason why is because I don't really have antique brass. I just randomly bought some antique brass hardware not too long ago, but I never bought magnetic snaps in the antique brass color. So I had to use gold, which is really not that bad. It's not that big of a deal. It's not crazy or anything. I just wish it was antique brass just to make everything a little bit more cohesive, but I work with what I have, so I had to use the gold. And right now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start on the lining. So I sewed all of the little top panel pieces for the lining. So I have the top denim piece that is like the top panel for the lining, and then I have that same thing for the side panels. This is a zipper that I'm gonna use. It's like a light brown zipper and like an antique brass. The coil is antique brass with the pull. I think that's gonna be nice. And yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and start on the lining so that I can put that together. And then honestly, I could finish this bag today if I really just sit down and get this done. But yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna start on the lining, and that's what y'all gonna see. All right, so I have this one all together. I ended up top stitching all the way around the edge, and top stitching this one was difficult. I had to take the stitches out and redo it. I didn't show me doing that, but I had to take it out and restitch it just because the tension was off because it's thick. So when you get to the areas of like where the seams meet, it's super thick in those areas. So I have to change the tension, then change it back. Once it was just difficult. And this is a really thick denim, so it's just difficult to sew all the way around. But I kind of just clipped the straps on here just to get a general idea how it's gonna look. And this is way better than the other one. So I'm actually glad that I did come up with this idea on how to do this, because I didn't want to take this part out because I really wanted this feature, the overall buckle feature in here, because that's just part of overalls. That's what makes overalls kind of. So I really wanted to keep that in here, and I'm glad I found a way to do that. So the scary part though is I'm actually gonna have to rivet the strap to the actual bag. So when I do this, I have to make sure that I do it 100% perfect and correct, because if I don't, the bag is done, because there will be holes punched in it, the rivet will be set, and it has to go right. So I only did this one strap. I actually have to sew the other strap together. I didn't do that one yet. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna sew the other strap, and then I'm going to rivet them on, and I just hope that this works. But it looks really nice though. The inside, I love the brown. It looks so nice. Little zipper pocket. You know, has my name tag right there, made by Rovell Gaither. The little divided slit pocket on this side, so you have one side and then that side. It looks really nice. So I'm really well pleased with the way this is turning out. It's not bad at all. Like, this one is amazing. So I'm gonna go ahead and start on the straps, and let's do that. All right, so it is now the next day. I finished up the last bag, which was the medium tone denim bag, and this one is the next one, which is the two-tone denim bag. So it is that medium blue with a darker shade blue, and I think this color combo is gonna be dope. I've used this color combo like 3 times, maybe 4. Let me see. This is my 3rd time using this color combo, and I love it. I'm gonna start using the color combo all the time because I love it so much. But it's the same exact bag, just a medium blue with the dark blue. And I am using the off-white thread color that I always love to use with this color combo. And like, again, I'm gonna be doing the same thing, so I really don't have to explain too much. But again, I'm gonna start first by assembling that front overall piece that goes over the front base of the bag. So I'm gonna start by doing that, assembling the front pocket, putting the name on, the belt loop base and belt loops and all that stuff. So that's what I'm gonna start doing, and that's what you're gonna see. So to make this video a little bit more interesting and you're not just watching me film or so, I thought it would be a good idea to go to Instagram and, you know, ask my followers some questions to ask me so I can answer them in a voiceover on my YouTube video. And you know, it's so crazy because my Instagram stories, like the analytics are so up and down. Like sometimes I'll go on my story and ask something like that and I'll get tons of questions. And then like this time I only got one, which was really odd. But this person asked, when did you start sewing? So I've answered this quite a few times, especially on my TikTok lives because I'm always live on TikTok. But I started sewing my 2nd year of high school. I randomly got into fashion. There was this guy at my school and his style really inspired me a lot to get into fashion. So I got into clothing and all that. I was really into the style of just clothes, not style, the side of clothing. And then one day I was like, why don't I start making clothes? So I don't know where the drive to start making clothes came from, but I was really obsessed with wanting to learn how to sew. So this was when I was in high school. So I remembered that my mom had a sewing machine in the garage because she had bought a sewing machine a long time ago to sew curtains, and she never ever used it for that. So when I came home from school, I was like, you know, hey, can you show me how to sew with the sewing machine that you bought? She was like, yeah, I'll show you one day, and she never did it. So I took the sewing machine out of the garage myself and brought it up to my room and watched some YouTube videos on it and started sewing on it. And the first thing that I ever made was a halter top for my friend out of this old H&M shirt that I had. I remember exactly what it was. It was like a green. What color green was it? I can't remember what color green it was. It was like it wasn't neon. It was like a nice brightish type green. And I turned the old t-shirt into a halter top and she loved it. And I thought it was dope because it was the first thing I ever made. But after a while, I got sick of that sewing machine because it really wasn't that good of a machine. So after school, I would always walk home. I walked home all the time after school, and on the way home, there was a Walmart. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna get me a new sewing machine because I'm tired of this one. So I looked up online to see if they had the sewing machines, or if they sold them, and they did. So after school, I walked to Walmart and I bought it. It was like $200 or something like that, and I walked all the way home carrying the sewing machine. And it was a Singer heavy duty. I always say Singer heavy duty 44S, but I really don't know if that's what it's called. But I know that it is a Singer heavy duty. And if you want to start learning how to sew, I definitely recommend getting that machine. It is an amazing machine to learn how to sew on. that was the machine that I've used to learn how to sew for years. And I recently, actually last year, I just got my industrial sewing machine. And before I got this machine, that's the machine I was using and been using for everything. So if you want to learn how to sew, I definitely recommend getting the Singer Heavy Duty 44S. I think that's what it's called. Don't take my word on that. But yeah, really, that's how I learned how to sew. A bunch of YouTube videos and practice. And in high school as well, me and my friends, we started a fashion club. And, you know, we did sewing in there a lot. We had a little teacher, not a little teacher. She was, honestly, she was our friend, to be honest. Let's be real. She was really our friend. She was really cool. She taught us a lot of tips and tricks and helped us a lot with, you know, our projects, making our prom outfits. And it was just really cool. So yeah, that's how I learned how to sew. That was really long, but this clip was a long clip. So I was like, let me just do a voiceover and make this long and drag it out. And honestly, I'm gonna stop talking because I hope this loud old freaking airplane engine or whatever it is in this computer being super loud is not getting picked up on my microphone. So I'm gonna go. Okay, so I have all the bags done. Yes, like I say all the time, I'm filming my intro and outro on the same day. So if you see me wearing the same thing, mind your business. Just kidding, but not. Anyways, so I'm gonna go ahead and start in the order that I made the bags. So I'm gonna talk about the light blue one, the one that let me talk about the one that I messed up on, which I already talked about it in the video. So if you watched all the way through, you'll know why I redid it. So I'm gonna go ahead and talk about the things I don't like about this one. So this was the first bag that I started on. So the first thing that I don't like about this bag is already stated. I made these way too high. So not only did I make them too high, but some of them are uneven. So on the back, this one is a lot higher than the one down here. So it's just a little uneven. Mind you, also, it makes the straps look way too long, which I don't like. And not only that, but when you let go of the straps, it does that. And then when you go to pick it back up, I don't know if you can see, but like they kind of spin sometimes when you go to pick it back up. So then the straps end up being all twisted and uncomfortable, and it just looked like, if you see this, that's what it does. It like twists up all the way around. So on the second one, I changed it up. Also, what I did, I didn't do the red. I thought I would like, honestly, at first I liked the red. I thought it would look dope, but I'm not feeling the red. I don't know, maybe the shape of the bag, I don't know, maybe if it was a different bag or something. I'm just not feeling the red in this bag, especially with that dark blue stitching. I'm not feeling it. But this was the first one, so I'm gonna go ahead and show the second one and the fixes that I made to it. So this is the second one. This one looks so much better and cleaner. So what I went ahead and did on this one was I riveted the strap to the bag so it doesn't do that thing where it spins and twists around. You see that it can't spin or move around because it's actually riveted to the bag, so it's not gonna go nowhere. And it also shortened the strap maybe like about an inch. It made it shorter because it's lower, so the strap is not so long. So this is the front pocket. You can fit like a phone, a wallet, some cash in there. I don't know what you would really put in there, but you can fit. It's a pretty big pocket, and that's also riveted. It has the 2 rivets in the corner. You know, it has the overall buckles right here, which I love the overall detail. I really wanted to make sure that I captured the look of overalls in a bag. It also has the belt loop waistband, which you can actually, if you want it, put a belt in here. I don't know if anyone would do that, but it's actually functional to where you can do that. And this is the bag. The bag is really simple and plain. There's nothing on the back. And then the sides of the bag, again, I added that magnetic snap right here so you can close the bag up and give it that nice shape. Honestly, I really like this shape with the curve, but if you wanted to, you can open it up. And it also makes the bag a little bit bigger on the inside, and you can have it like this. So really optional. You have, not optional, you have 2 options. So you can wear it like this, or you can wear it the other way. And also when I remade this bag, I was questioning if I wanted to use a light silver gray lining color or this navy blue. I did an Instagram story. I did a poll on my Instagram story asking if I should do the navy blue or the silver. And I really wanted to go with the navy blue, but I was still just kind of second guessing it. And a lot of the people, well, the one that won was the navy blue, so I went ahead and did that. And on the inside of each one, it has the zipper pocket, you know, the little name tag right there. And then it also has the little, what are these? What are these? It has the little slip pockets, and I did a little stitch down the center to divide it. So they're divided, so you can, it's sectioned off. So you can feel like a phone. I really don't know what else. Maybe a water bottle. maybe like a little tiny notebook or journal, some pens. I don't know. I really don't know what you would put in there, but it really just depends on the person buying the bag. So again, this is this one. It has all the silver hardware, super nice. Love the bottom. It has the purse feet to protect the bottom of the bag, and it's super dope. Now on to the next one. This one, honestly, I love. Do you see the color combo? Do you see the color combo? Like, I don't know. I really like the medium blue with the antique brass hardware. Like, it really just has a nice look on it. This is my first time using antique brass hardware, and I've bought it really to use it because I really knew that it would be a good color with this bag. So it's the same thing. It has the front pocket, it has the little belt loops right here. It has, the back is all simple, you know, it's riveted to the bag. And the only thing that's different on this bag is the snaps. It's not an antique brass, it's actually just a regular brass. It's not that big of a difference though. Like, it's not crazy noticeable, but it's just a regular brass instead of antique. It doesn't have that aged look. And then on the inside, this one actually has a brown. I thought it would look nice with the antique brass hardware. You can't really see well. But this, the inside, it has a zipper pocket as well. This divided slip pocket right there. It has a magnetic snap closer. All of the bags are the same, just different colors. So I'm gonna go ahead and show the last one. And this is the bag that is more interesting color-wise because it's two colors. So this one has the dark indigo and then that medium blue denim, the same color denim that's from the other bag that I just showed previously. And this one has the silver hardware, same thing, front pocket, the little belt loops. The back is simple, the straps are riveted. You can open up the sides. I love the pop of color on this one too. Like, the pop of color on the sides of the bag just look really nice. And in the inside of this one is actually my favorite because, like, do you see that? Like, do you see that? And I got the zipper pocket. This is a navy blue zipper tape with a silver finish, and it has the little divided slip pocket right there. Magnetic snap closure to close up the bag. Super nice. All of these bags are comfortable. They can fit a good amount of stuff in here. Very unique. Honestly, these bags I feel like are more like you can collect these. I mean, they're very functional and usable. You can wear them every day wherever you want to go. But I feel like they're also just pieces that you would just buy just to say that you have them, because this, like, who the heck has an overall shoulder bag? Like, I'm debating. My friend, I'm on FaceTime with her, and she said, I asked her to guess the name of the bags, and I was like, what do you think the names are? And she was like, the farmer's market bag. And I was like, that's actually kind of dope. But I was gonna name them the shoulder roll tote because it's a shoulder tote bag, but it sounds like overalls, the shoulder roll. But when she said the farmer's market tote, it's kind of stuck in my head, but I don't know. I haven't released them yet. I'm gonna release them on Friday, the same day this video is coming out. Today is Wednesday, June 9th, so I still have time to think about the names. I don't even have the prices yet, but it's probably gonna be between anywhere from $375 to $400 or more, around that price range. And what I did finally add to my website is I added a monthly payment plan. So if you don't want to pay the full price, you can do monthly payments, or, well, really you pay every 2 weeks. Your card gets charged every 2 weeks from a payment, and you do 4 monthly payments. So if you want to do it that way, it's a little bit cheaper. You're still paying the same price, but it's just broken up so you don't have to dish out as much money as a full price would be. So yeah, that's all the bags. Really love them. I'm gonna keep this one for myself, even though it is a mess up. I'm keeping it for myself, which, I mean, it still works. I just didn't want to sell it because I do not like the way it is. And I really do love the way that I came up to put the straps on the bag and still include this, because I was really kind of stumped. I was like, okay, well, how am I going to include this overall thing in here but still make the straps to be where they're not going to move around and flip? So I was like, I would just rivet it on there, and I was kind of scared because I was like, I don't know if it's going to work, but it worked. So yeah, that's the video. This is my new bags. These bags are up and available depending on when you're watching this video right now on my website at rovellgaither.com. That was so awkward saying, it's my first time saying rovellgaither.com, but they are available on my website. And if you do want to shop them, you can click the link in my description box, or you can just go to rovellgaither.com. But that's the end of this video. I'm gonna go because I'm rambling at this point. But if you did like this video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up and leave a comment down below on some things you may want to see. You can hit the subscribe button, and also make sure you hit the bell notification too, so that you can be notified the next time that I do upload. I know YouTube sometimes doesn't let you know when we upload, but just to make sure, if you want to see the content, you can hit the bell notification. And if you do want to follow any of my social medias, I'm changing my names. All of my social medias for my business should be Rovell Gaither. Depending on when you're watching this, I'm trying to change my Instagram name right now from Rovell's G Code to Rovell Gaither. That's getting a little finicky, but it should be Rovell Gaither. If not, I'll have it on the screen somewhere and let you know if it's changed or not. But my TikTok is now Rovell Gaither. My personal Instagram, which is my Instagram where I post my things, is Rovell's if you do want to follow. All of this will be somewhere on the screen. And yeah, again, I don't know when my next, actually I do know when my next video will be. I'm not going to say in this video, but I'll be uploading that probably like a week after this video pretty much. So yeah, I thank you for watching this video and I'll see you in the next one. I hate saying bye.